These are four league-winning wide receivers that you need to be drafting in 2023 fantasy football redraft leagues. We're
Oh,
going to go through four guys that not only we think will pay off their ADP, but these are our guys that we think can really help you win your fantasy championships this year. So I'll start us off here. Calvin Ridley, currently being drafted as a wide receiver 18 around the fourth round. I mean, this just blows my mind. So last time he played a full season in 2020, he was the wide receiver 4 overall, and that was obviously when he had Matt Ryan, and he was playing on a broken foot. So I
And he
mean,
had Julio Jones on that team.
that was the next point. I said, and Julio
Sorry.
Jones. You're good.
I thought you were going to forget the most
No,
important part.
Julio Jones was also on the team at the time. 2019, he was wide receiver 17 in average points per game. 2018, which was his rookie year. Again, this is all with Julio. He was wide receiver 20. Every single year he improved, and now he goes to the Jaguars where he has Trevor Lawrence. I understand he gambled, whatever. He did his time, but you know, do like it's not like some guy that suffered a major injury and now he's coming back for it. And how is he gonna? He hasn't been in the league in a while. How is he gonna perform? If anything, he just got healthier. He still obviously has been honing his craft. He looks incredible in camp. It looks like he's running in 2 times speed running these routes compared to other guys. I mean, he's always been considered one of the best route runners in the league. Now he gets one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL throwing him the ball. Draft Calvin Ridley. He is going to bring home some fantasy championships this year.
do you think the Jaguars social media team is playing his videos in 2 times speed and posting it like that?
It
No,
looks like it.
no. It looks like it, but I don't think so.
I saw side by side with him and Zay Jones, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Zay Jones crushed it last year.
Yeah.
Crush, but okay. I have wide receiver numero dos here. Fan favorite of mine. Love him to death. Deontay Johnson. He is going currently as the wide receiver 34 off the board. And if you want to tell me, why that sounds weird, I'm all here for it because Deontay Johnson is a league winner, just had a bad year last year. There's no reason why this man should be going that far down the draft boards. He is by far, if you can tell me right now how many targets he had last year. Come on, throw out some numbers. Let's tell me how many targets he had last year.
130.
Yeah, I would say 130, 140 ish.
More.
Wow.
144. 144.
That's a lot of targets.
That is he finished sixth among active receivers. That is more targets than St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, and DK Metcalf. And with that being said, since Johnson has been in the league, he's averaged at least 6.7 touchdowns a year. Last year, the biggest anomaly ever in NFL history for a wide receiver to have 144 targets, 86 catches, and 0 touchdowns. That's never happened before in the entire league. If he would have just finished with, I don't know, 4 touchdowns, he would have finished like wide receiver 20 on the year in PPR. Also, he was dealing with Kenny Pickett last year, rookie quarterback. We've talked about it to basically death here. Rookie quarterbacks in their first years are statistically not good quarterbacks. Pickett was throwing a touchdown pass on only 1.7% of his pass attempts. So he got better towards the end of the year, but that's something that is unheard of. So the fact is, you have to draft Deontay Johnson where he's going, because this guy, if he gets 144 targets with 6 or 7 touchdowns, he's going to be a league winner for you, and he will not kill you like he did last year. Draft Deontay Johnson.
You get him like as a pretty late wide receiver too right now too, which is awesome.
Even wide receiver 3.
Yeah, he's your wide receiver 3. He's crushing for you all year.
Yeah. True.
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to take the third guy, even though you kind of dissed him here. Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, Garrett Wilson now gets Aaron Rodgers. We've already seen what Rodgers can do to sustain a number one wide receiver. He loves his main guys and goes to them all the time. I think the volume's going to be there. Last year, Garrett Wilson had a 25% target share on his team. I don't expect that to flounder very much this year. Really excited about the upgrade at quarterback for him. And, I think all signs are a go. This is kind of year two for some of these young wide receivers, or when they break out. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be the next one for that. And for that reason, he's worth that early pick. Go win your league with G. Wilson.
Nice. Yeah, Jets are going to be nice. All right, coming in at number 4, we've got Jerry Jeudy being drafted in the late 4th, early 5th round as wide receiver 24. Jerry Jeudy is going to have improved quarterback and O-line play paired with significantly better coaching and play calling. So let's take a little trip back to 2022, preseason 2022. Okay. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Let's imagine it. All right. So going into last year, obviously Jerry Jeudy's arrow was pointing up. We presumed he was going to have an upgrade at quarterback in Russ and a coaching upgrade in Hackett. And obviously we all know what happened to the Broncos that season.
They didn't ride.
They did not ride. But
that was that flashback was turning in my head.
That was like PTSD because
yeah, we had way too much exposure to the Broncos last year. But it's going to be different this year. And despite that dumpster fire, Jeudy put up his best numbers ever in fewer games than years past. He had basically 70 catches, almost 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaged 9.7 yards per target, which was top 10 in the league, and had career highs in yards per target, yards per route run, and PFF receiving grade. He was also the number 1 receiver in yards per route run in man coverage, which is huge for a speed guy and a route runner like him. So all that said, I think we've seen his floor, and it was a pretty good floor. I don't think the Broncos situation is going to get worse than last year because they've upgraded their O-line. So they added 2 big names in free agency in Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers, while also retaining their top left tackle in Garrett Bowles, and of course added Sean Payton. So let's look at Sean Payton's years as a head coach in the NFL. Of the 15 years that he's coached, he's finished inside the top 10 in offensive scoring 12 times. He's also regarded, obviously, around the league as one of the top offensive minds and has led many teams to the playoffs and even won a Super Bowl. And lastly, Jeudy is the clear defined wide receiver 1 on this Broncos team. Obviously, you have Tim Patrick going down with that unfortunate ACL injury. KJ Ham was up.
Achilles. Sorry.
Achilles. Thank you.
Even worse.
Yeah, even worse. Poor guy can't stay healthy. You've also got KJ Hamler, who has a heart condition that is going to sideline him for a couple of games early in the season. And also Cortland Sutton's name has popped up on the trade block a couple of times, and he has not produced at the level that we thought he was going to in years past. So basically you've got Marvin Mims there, who's going to compete for that target share, but I don't see him as a huge threat to that wide receiver 1 status in Jeudy. In Jeudy's 12 healthy games last year, he averaged basically 8 targets, 5 catches, 75 yards, and a 23% target share. I see all of those getting a large uptick this year with all those circumstances. And he's a guy that you're drafting in the late 4th round, early 5th with top 10 upside, making him a league winner.
For sure.
Love Jerry Jeudy. And not to mention, he was still kind of battling back from his injury early on in the season and just got better and better throughout the year.
Yeah, an ankle too, right? Which is going to definitely affect his type of game, speed and route running.
All right. Well, that'll do it for league winner wide receivers. We'll be back to cover the last 2 of running back and tight end. Please subscribe, hit that like button, helps out the channel a lot, and we will see you next time.